So I've had the Fitbit Charge 2, 3, 4, and now 5 that you see on my wrist here. And I must say that the Fitbit Charge 5 is by far my favorite out of the bunch that Fitbit has made. Now looking back, I pre-ordered the Fitbit Charge 5 from Fitbit.com on September 2nd of 2021. At the time, the price of this product was listed at $179.95, and after Texas taxes, I paid a total of $194.80 for this product, and it arrived on my doorstep a few weeks later on September 23rd of 2021. And when it arrived, I did a quick unboxing and got the following items. The main attraction is, of course, the Fitbit Charge 5 display itself, and you also get two different bands, both a large and small band, and I personally wear the large band with 7-inch wrists. You also get the magnetic charging cable, it's USB, that goes on the device to, of course, charge it, and this is specific to the Charge 5 from what I can tell, as it does not work with my Charge 4. And then you, of course, get the warranty and installation quick start guides, and that's about it from inside the box. So when it comes to apps on this device, I'm going to actually go through it with you so you can see firsthand what you get on it after having it for a year. First off, taking a look at it, you can turn it to have it activate. So you can see it is 9:24 as of shooting this video at 3:14 p.m. So if we go, now if we're going to scroll to the right, first off, we get notifications. I personally have them all turned off. That's why there's none here. Next up are our exercises. You can have up to 6 on the device at once. There are more on the app if you'd like to switch it out, but you can have up to 6 available here. Mine, of course, has weights at the top. Next up, we have our alarms. So I do have an alarm for weekends at 9 a.m. and then 6:15 for the weekdays, just so I make sure I get up on time. And then if we keep moving on, oh, it's not letting me move over. There we go. We have our countdown timers. So if you need to do a timer of some kind or even a stopwatch, you have both of those. And then you have an EDA scan, which is your electrodermal activity scan used to see the response of stress in the body. So this is kind of their how to look up how much stress you're having from your workouts. I don't personally use it, but it is there if you want it. And then, of course, you have your ECG scan, which is your electrocardiogram, which runs an assessment of how your heart rhythm and activity is, just to see if there's any issues there. I personally, again, don't use this. I'm pretty healthy at 31, so I don't really need it. And that's it if we go through again. So that's all you get when you scroll to the right all the way through. Now let's go vertical on the device. So if we look at this again, if we scroll vertically, so if I scroll up with my finger, you get kind of your stats for the day. So again, this is September 24th shooting this video, but you can see I have, as of shooting this right now, I only have 1,864 steps. I have been watching the Halo tournament today, so I've been kind of sitting at my desk all day long. It tells you how far you've gone, activity, steps and all that stuff, your total calories burned. Then you go down, we get our heart rate, which is 67 as of shooting this video right now, so a little higher than normal. I'm usually in the 50s. You can see my resting is 47. And then if we keep going, my sleep, 7 hours and 18 minutes. It is the weekend, so it's a bit longer, normally around like 6 hours during the week. If I tap the screen again, sleep score was an 83, so pretty good. And then my SpO2 percentage, again, I don't even care about this, but if you do, it is on the device. It shows as 97. And then how many days I exercised. This also counts walking, so I do walk my dogs, and that's why I have 6 out of 7 days. Now that is it if we scroll down, but if we scroll up now, so if we go the other direction, so I'm scrolling down my finger, we get our payments, so you can pay with this if you set up a wallet on it, which I do have. I also have do not disturb mode on, if you can even see that on the device, as this turns off all notifications coming to it, as I just get annoyed. I use my phone for notifications. I don't need it for this, so I turn them all off. You have screen awake, which I have set to auto, so that's when you just turn like this. It'll awake for you. Find my phone, never even use the feature, but you have the find phone feature. And then also just your general settings, so if you want to change anything in the general display, you can go through and have it activated. Oh. So that's about it. You can double tap to go back, and now we're back at the main screen. Now outside of the apps on the device, this can also track GPS without a phone being on you, which is pretty nice. If you're like me and did Spartan races and stuff like that in the past, you can do that without a phone as well, and it is water resistant, so you can actually go pretty far into water. I've been in pools and stuff with not taking it off, and it's perfectly fine. You can't go too deep because the pressure will ruin it, but just know you can use it with just general swimming and tracking from there. There is also a swim activity if you want to add that to the device. And now before the pros and cons, no, I did have the premium version of the app. So I did have Fitbit Premium for 6 months for buying this device, as they gave it to me for buying it. However, that did run out 6 months in, and I have not renewed it since because I don't find any additional benefit. The only reason I even liked it was for the readiness score, basically telling you, are you ready to work out again after stressing your body during your other workout? And since that came, like, I didn't find that much value in it, and I didn't want to pay for a membership, I do not pay for a premium right now. Alright, in my pros and cons list, and let's go with the pros first. So the first pro, the Fitbit Charge 5 is very comfortable. I rarely take this thing off. It's, I think, more comfortable than the 4 and all of its predecessors. So again, this is one of the reasons I think this is the best charge device Fitbit has made to date. Not only that, but they finally went to a colored display, and this is one of the big pros I had when first testing out this device in my initial reviews, and that the color display, even if there is glare, is very easy to read at all times. So there is other display options, because they have a lot of clock faces in the app. I just have the standard one it comes with, works perfectly fine for me, but feel free to change it to what you would like to display on the device. But just know, the color on this thing is nice, vibrant, and very easy to read in pretty much any situation. And also, you have GPS without the phone. Finally, a device that does this, that is not one of the bulkier Versas, Ionics, and something like that. So the charge finally got away from the phone, so if you are someone who does a lot of running, events, and things of that nature, this is great. It also auto-tracks my walk with my dogs, so every time I come back, it has picked up that I went on a walk and puts actually the path I took that I can then put in my Instagram stuff for you guys to see and follow along if you'd like to do so. Next pro is this thing is very responsive and intuitive. Some of the problems I had in the past were my device kind of turning off or not listening to what I do. This one, on the other hand, anytime I turn it towards me, it just wakes up every single time. Again, I had issues with the past with it getting locked and not actually responding to that. Every single time it's doing it, and then going right, left, up, down, always seems to work as expected. So again, responsiveness is just as good as day one with the Fitbit Charge 5, at least in my testing. And my last pro, and what might be a con for some, is that the music functionality is now completely gone from the device. I think it was just pointless anyway. Make room for other better features unless you're going to fully implement some kind of music. If not, get rid of it and do what you did here and just not have it on the device at all. Alright, let's take a look at my cons list after a year of using the Fitbit Charge 5. So looking at both the Fitbit.com and Amazon for the Fitbit Charge 5, they range around $120 to $150, and you can also get some benefits by clicking the discount of $25 or whatever when you click Amazon. So it really depends on what bonuses you have, but I don't think this device is worth anything over $120. I know I bought it for $180, but looking at it and what it does, I really just don't think it's worth more than that. I don't get more benefit than the $120 mark, so that's probably what I'd pay for it if I went for it again. But no, if you're getting scammed at $200, I wouldn't pay it for this device. The readiness score, while it's cool, and you see in other applications like the Whoop product that they have out there has something similar to the readiness score, I think it's cool, but just not something I'm going to be paying premium for. I really don't need it that much. I personally just go off the cues of when I think I'm ready to go, which is just a few days rest after each one of my intense workouts. And so I don't think I'm going to be paying ever for Fitbit Premium. Maybe if I buy another device and they give it to me for free for another 6 months, sure, I'll use it then, but I have no plans in buying the Premium at all. The only reason I was even looking at it was for the readiness score, but it just didn't have enough, oomph in there to really push me over the top to buying a membership style product. Now, one of the bigger cons that I have is the glare on the screen. Luckily, the color and vibrance of this device makes up for it, so it doesn't really matter, but just know there is quite a bit of glare looking at this thing under some light and sunlight. So again, you'll get the glare dots on it. You might be able to now buy some screen things that go over the device to help with anti-glare, but in my case, I don't have that, so there is glare on it, but I can still read it just as easily, just because the screen is so great and vibrant otherwise. And my last con are items that were removed. Now, this is probably where I'd put in that music was removed, but again, I really don't care for music unless they make a full blown out feature where you can actually have a playlist on the device so that you don't need your phone on you. In the past, you had to have your phone and all it was just a changer of music on the device, but if we can get something like a playlist on it, that'd be cool. Otherwise, I think just keep it off. So this is a pro-con kind of back and forth for me regarding this functionality. However, please bring back the weather app. This is something I sorely miss from the other devices, and I'd love to see return to the Fitbit Charge 5. I'm not sure why it was removed, but if I don't have this and I go on a longer walk, I basically have to check my phone to see if it's going to rain or something. Luckily in Texas, it doesn't rain all that often, and if it does, it's like a big event kind of thing, and downpours and storms. But Otherwise, if I'm in other places, sometimes I want to just check on the weather and what it's going to be. Sometimes just talking with my wife and we're like, is it 100 degrees right now? And we can't look at that because it's not on the device. I have to bring my phone with me in order to keep up on that kind of information. And lastly, they removed the guided breathing, which is what I actually used quite a bit with the Fitbit Charge 4. So I was pretty surprised to see this. I think it's all on the app now, but again, that requires me having my phone on me. I understand a lot of people just have their phone on them at all times, including myself, but if you just had something like this where it just did the little I think it just did a little pulse thing on it, so you just kind of sit, relax, and just have that pulse going back and forth, and you just breathe in and out, just to kind of sit back, relax, and meditate. That'd be nice to return to the device. So my final thoughts on the Fitbit Charge 5 after using it for 1 year. Well, this is by far my favorite of all the Fitbit devices that have been released to date. You might not think so, but again, this does everything I need. It's by far the most comfortable, water resistant, and again, just fits really well into my training lifestyle. What's also great is that after a year, unlike some of my other devices, there's no random turn-offs. There's very minimal scratching. And again, I wear this all the time. There's very minimal scratches on the surface of this. If anything, I have fingerprints, but I can see right through it with the great screen that it has. So that is awesome to see. And of course, it's very responsive overall, going left, right, screen awakening when I turn towards me. All of that has been awesome to use in the past year. And as a final reminder, make sure you don't use this as an end-all for your health and fitness information. Again, this is not a perfectly accurate device. It gives you some insights into movement and moving around, your ECG and EDA and all that stuff and whatnot, and sleep. Again, that's what I use it for, but it's not 100% accurate, especially when it comes to steps and calories burned. I'd say calories is probably the most off of all of them. Steps is okay, but again, it's not perfectly accurate. It just gives me a snapshot into comparing day to day how I'm doing in movement overall, and am I moving at all in my day, and how am I looking when it comes to general activity. So with that, if you'd like to pair this with a workout program to get your best results, make sure you head over to GamerBody.com and check it out there. I'll even leave a link to a workout you can do on screen now so you can see and get some results in your home fitness journey.